see one.
If you guys want to come and sit right here on the step, you can. Just be ready to go. We're going to sing the words, Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. I'm grateful for before you, source, spirit of all living. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. That's it. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. Elohai neshama shenatata li. Elohai neshama shenatata li. Tehorahi. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. All right, let's continue. Zimriel, why don't you stand up? We'll join together in Havana Shira. All right. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom to all of you who are joining us online. It's wonderful to be together. We're thrilled that Jacob Richter is with us tonight. We're thrilled that Zimriah is with us tonight. And we're thrilled that we all could be together like this. We're fortunate in multiple ways. And one of the central ways we are fortunate in these days is that we're participants in two homes. I hope all of you yesterday had an opportunity to gather in your homes with family and friends and enjoy a festive meal together. And of course, we're all participants in this home, the home of Beth Am. And we find sanctuary in those homes, but we also find sanctuary here. And we find sanctuary within Shabbat. And what is particularly delightful about Shabbat is that it is suffused with light. And so we want to bring light into this sanctuary. And so join us in singing these words. Page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. So we're on page 5. Let's join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagalfen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim. We welcome Shabbat with the singing of Lecha Dodi, which begins on page 20 or page 138. And we'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Is it there? Okay, good. E minor. Okay. All right, here we go.
God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. Baruch Hu, page 28. We sing of everlasting love, page 32.
We're going to use we're going to use the slides. The slides, sorry.
Even better.
Even better. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us.
seat. Invite forward next week's Bat Mitzvah, Minam and Freddie, up to lead us in the teachings from the words of Deuteronomy on page 36. Sing the words of Micha Mocha, our song of freedom and redemption together, page 40.
פד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
So we're now on page 43 on the top left of the page, and I think we need our Zimriah up here. Is that right, Cantor?
Yes, we do.
So, and we'll sing together the words of Hashkivenu, this interpretation of Hashkivenu, let there be love.
Okay. Well, we're in for a special treat tonight because I think it was like the evening of Yom Kippur. It was like a few days before Jacob Richter was on his way back to Oberlin, where he's studying composition. I said, Jacob, I've decided that I need you to compose of a shamru. You know, I thought he was going to work on it over the semester and really, come back a few months later and say, what do you think of this, or maybe this or that. But then 2 days later, I get an email with this piece of a shamru. He said, well, I have it for you. And so we're going to debut it tonight. I hope that you'll follow along. It's going to be right there on page 44. And so, wait, where did it go? Let's find that. One sec. Nope. Shabbat Thanksgiving, you think. One sec. My goodness. All right, here we go. Yasher Koach. Yasher Koach.
Thank you so much, Jacob, to know that this community is adding to the next generation's Jewish sacred music led by you. And Cantor says, Jacob, I need a Vishamra. Sometimes she says, John, I need a Diet Coke. So I'm really impressed. And I deliver, but that is really, really stunning.
And thank you, Cantor.
So, I invite you to rise as we turn to the Tefillah, a short poem by Mary Oliver. It doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot or a few small stones. Just pay attention, then patch a few words together and don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but the doorway into thanks and a silence in which another voice may speak. The words, the tefillah, begin on page 46 and continue 3 prayers. When you're done with your personal prayer, you can be seated.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechalkel chaim v'chesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gevurot umido melach melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol HaKadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We're in the middle of page 62.
Service where our thoughts turn towards those in need of healing. Our Beth Am community is specifically adding prayers for David Ben-Ami, Ginny Anderson, Jerry Blum, Pat Daly, Diane Denenberg, Liz Dietz, Kathleen Duncan, Marilu Garfinkel, Arlene Gilliand, Selena Glader, Diana Guthoner, Barbara Heiken, Anita Holzberg, Dorothy Huper, Moritz Huper, Marvin Jones, Ursi Joyner, Greg Marcus, Joan Marlin, Stan Myers, Escher Ozturk, Eileen Peak, Faye Ellen Perlas, Rabbi Laurie Phillips, Edel Rizel, Sue Rehout, Jonathan Sachs, David Baruch Ben Simona, Matthew Smith, Donna Spenger, and Nicole Gent Wickenheiser. If you're praying for someone in need of healing, a renewal of body, or a renewal of spirit, I invite you to say their name out loud so we can add them to our prayer. Modeh ani lefanecha, meaning I give thanks, is the morning prayer traditionally sung or recited by Jews before rising from bed. Cantor Spall sang a beautiful version of it to start the service. It offers thanks to God for restoring a person's soul when he or she awakens. The prayer highlights God's mercy and trust in giving a soul back to a person to greet a new day. There is a parallel prayer, Modim Anachnu Lach, a song of gratitude for the blessings that come our way. It's part of our daily liturgy, a prayer to be recited 3 times a day if we'd like. It seems that the ancient liturgists were concerned that folks might not be so good at saying thanks, so better to put it in a script, so we would be sure to express it a few times a day. They probably felt people weren't hardwired to express gratitude, so it was something of which we needed to be continually reminded to do. So before I go further, let me remember to pause and express my deep appreciation and gratitude to all in the Beth Am community who have been a part of our family for so many years. I continue to feel gratitude for being part of this very special synagogue. And while I'm on a roll, to my clergy colleagues and the Beth Am staff who make me a better rabbi and whose study and practice of Judaism inspires and challenges us to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with our God. And let me, on behalf of all, express gratitude for both the technology that preserved community during the pandemic, and especially for the vaccinations that have enabled many of us to be here together. Perhaps I should echo our matriarch Leah's words after she gives birth to her 4th son. I give thanks to the Eternal. She therefore named him Yehuda, Judah, the root of the word Judah, and therefore Jew is odeh, meaning thanks. It is taught that this is the first time in the Torah that anyone says thank you. The Talmud notes this explicitly. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, from the day the Holy One, blessed be God, created the world, no one thanked the Holy One until Leah came and thanked him. As it is stated, this time I will give thanks to God. Judah is prominent in our Torah portion, one that largely deals with the Joseph narrative. It's a terrific Torah portion, aren't they all? One filled with dreams and multicolored coats, seduction and deception. Judah is the one who convinces his brothers not to leave Joseph in a pit to die. Judah also appears in Genesis chapter 38 in a rather strange interlude to the Joseph story with Tamar. At the end of the book of Genesis, it will be Judah who steps forward to free his brother Benjamin, demonstrating that brothers do change. Judah, to be a Jew, meaning to give thanks. In English, to thank often becomes to praise. And Leah's emphasis on gratitude is repeated in other texts, like the Psalms or our prayers. Generally, what people are thankful for is God. And from that gratitude for everything else flows. The attitude of gratitude is repeatedly praised. As I mentioned earlier, when we rise in the morning, we are expected to recite Modeh Ani. I am grateful to God for bringing life to me each and every day. In the Birkat Hamazon, the blessing after the meals, we thank God for sustaining the world with goodness, kindness, and mercy. Many a Shabbat we sing the words of Psalm 92, Tov lehodot Adonai. It is good to give praise to God. During the day or at night, through which the prayer Modim Anachnu Lach, we are grateful to you. We thank God for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all time. Modim anachnu lach. In the liturgy, it's one of the concluding prayers of the Amidah, which calls us to awareness to the constant miracles that are with us each day. As the Yom Kippur prayer book teaches, what is ever present soon becomes commonplace, and its wonders are too often ignored. The Thanksgiving blessing reminds us that miracles need not be supernatural or extraordinary events. If we pay attention, the smallest details of our surroundings and the very regularity of nature's law can evoke awe. Modim anachnu lach has an interesting structure too. Generally in Hebrew, like in English, the verb does not come before the subject. Thanks we are to you. Thanks I am. An odd sentence structure. And as Rabbi Shai Held teaches, the phrasing is actually instructive. One cannot acknowledge the self, the I, the me, until one has first said thanks. On this weekend of our holiday of Thanksgiving, it is good to remember the daily importance of expressing our gratitude, whether it is in a time of blessing or a time of trial. A Yehudi, a Jew, the descendants of Judah, ideally is a human being who, like our matriarch Leah, can find her way to gratitude. Switching gears, and on this Thanksgiving, with a tribute to our matriarch Leah, let me share one of my favorite poems about gratitude by the former U.S. Poet Laureate, Billy Collins. The other day, I was ricocheting slowly off the blue walls of this room, moving as if underwater from typewriter to piano, from bookshelf to an envelope lying on the floor, when I found myself in the L section of the dictionary, where my eyes fell upon the word lanyard. No cookie nibbled by a French novelist could send one into the past more suddenly. A past where I sat at a workbench at a camp by a deep Adirondack lake, learning how to braid long, thin plastic strips into a lanyard, a gift for my mother. I had never seen anyone use a lanyard or wear one, if that's what you did with them. But that did not keep me from crossing strand over strand again and again until I had made a boxy red and white lanyard for my mother. She gave me life and milk from her breasts, and I gave her a lanyard. She nursed me in many a sick room, lifted spoons of medicine to my lips, laid cold face cloths on my forehead, and then led me out into the airy light, and taught me to walk and swim, and I, in turn, presented her with a lanyard. Here are thousands of meals, she said, and here is clothing and a good education, and here is your lanyard, I replied, which I made with a little help from a counselor. Here is the breathing body and a beating heart, strong legs, bones, and teeth, and 2 clear eyes to read the world, she whispered. And here, I said, is the lanyard I made at camp. And here I wish to say to her now is a smaller gift, not the worn truth, that you can never repay your mother, but the rueful admission that when she took the 2-tone lanyard from my hand, I was as sure as a boy could be that this useless, worthless thing I wove out of boredom would be enough to make us even. Shabbat Shalom.
Toda Rabbah, Rabbi.
Thank you.
We continue on page 282 with the Aleinu, and we ask you to rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula l'yotzeh בבראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. The Kaddish is on page 294. As many of you know, the great composer and lyricist Stephen Sondheim died today at the age of 91. And as a setting for our Kaddish tonight, here are the lyrics of No One Is Alone from Into the Woods. No one here to guide you, now you're on your own. Only me beside you, still you are not alone. No one is alone, truly no one is alone. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone, but no one is alone. People make mistakes, fathers, mothers. People make mistakes holding to their own, thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes. Everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right. Giants can be good. You decide what's right. You decide what's good. Just remember, someone is on your side. Someone else is not. Well, we're seeing our side. Maybe we forgot. They are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light. Now just don't let it go. Things will come out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is alone. I'm happy to report that there were no deaths this past week within our Beth Am community. But we remember at this time those for whom we observe Shloshim, the traditional 30-day period of mourning. Elaine Hartman, Mark Siegel, and Jonathan G. Crass. And we add to their names those for whom we observe Yartzeit this week. Dmitry Agurinov, Gregory Alkazian, Gerald Aptekar, Rachel Barak, Yvonne Berlin, Elaine Burnett, Eva Blank, Molly Bloomfield, Melvin Blum, David Brenner, Lawrence Brenner, Selma Berger, Ronald Check, Phyllis Check Alper, Herbert Chesson, Bernie Elspeth, Abraham Etten, Jules Fand, Sidney Feinberg, Martin Feiner, Samuel Feldstein, George Fox, Blanche Frumpkin, William Glassberg, Emil Gordon, Milton Green, Geraldine Greenberg, Jack Hagerup, Glenda Hall, Aubrey Harris, Edward Hinden, John Hodges, Caroline Hoffman, Betty Holt, Melvin Horn, Leah Horowitz, Thomas Kalb, Sadie Kalsman, Zundel Katz, Stanley Kaufman, Ruth Vin Hendler-Lack, Irma S. Lawrence, Max Lebensbaum, Jerome Levin, Daniel Levine, Carl Levinson, Harold Lipton, William Martin, Esther Masner, Corey McCamey, Bert Moser, Samuel Myman, Sidney Newman, Nobuku Oshitobi, Rosa Ozdoba, Joan Platt, Bert Poppel, Pearl Raymer, Joseph Risner, Vito Ruvalo, Ruth Sable, Mildred Salup, Milton Schaefer, Sam Schneider, Irene Schoenwetter, Harold Scholnick, Susan Schriffrin, Gabrielle Schwartz, Anne Nechama Simkin, Deborah Slom, Esther Sobel, Alice Sobel, Bertie Stein, Iris Strello, Donald Tall, Joseph Wertheimer, Molly White, Reuben Williams, Abraham Wolfson, Moshe Jernist. Are there any other names? Zichronam Livracha, may their memory be for a blessing. And we now stand with you as we recite these words together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'miru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'alma v'yemiru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yemiru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yemiru amen.
Just want to, this season of light and Festival of Lights, want to encourage everyone to join us next Friday night for our special Hanukkah Shabbat. Hanukkah begins tomorrow night at sundown with our first candle. We'll be celebrating throughout the week. All of that's on the Betham webpage. But next Friday night promises to be extra special. Cantor's going to lead us in some Hanukkah singing. We'll have some of our students here. So if you're streaming, we encourage you to come, or you can always watch online, and it should be a lot of fun for families. We have a big family Hanukkah celebration next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. And also, as we are giving thanks and bringing light to dark places, we know that there are so many in our communities who continue to struggle. This month, Beth Am is collecting tzedakah for a terrific East Palo Alto-based organization called Project We Hope that does everything from fighting homelessness and hunger to working to reduce underemployment and recidivism in East Palo Alto. They've been around since 1999 and are really a terrific organization. So there's a tzedakah box if you're here in person that you can put a couple dollars into. You can make a donation on the Beth Am webpage, or you can Venmo at Beth-Am, and make sure you put tzedakah box in the memo line. We sing our song of peace and of joy, mostly peace. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Page 353.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
I want to thank Jacob Richter for bringing his skills every time. And Sam and Ella for helping us too tonight. I appreciate it greatly. We all do. And also to your mom for harnessing our talents and bringing her talents each and every week. So join us for Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Have a wonderful Hanukkah.
Say hi to someone new on the way out. Like Tracy, she's